Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your quantum reading with me, Jocelyn, the Quantum Queen. That was perfect. Okay, Cap. So let me get into my normal intro. Feel free to fast forward if you guys are sick of hearing this. So this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And as always, welcome to my Cross Watchers. In Cross Watcher, you could be dealing with a Capricorn and the message could be for you directly. So feel free to take the message however it resonates to you and your situation. Also, keep in mind these are general readings, so if it doesn't resonate with you, it's probably not your message. So don't try to force it to your situation. If you guys would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can find my information down below in the description box. Also, if you guys would like to make a good karma donation, that information is also located down below. And just wanted to say thank you to those who have made donations, and thank you, thank you for liking and subscribing. Just make sure when you hit the subscribe button that you tap the bell off to the side so you can get notifications when I post videos and when I go live. So, Cat, this is pretty much perfect. This is exactly what I was getting in the pre-shuffle, so I love that those jumped right out. I think what's happening is right now, currently, you're getting swarmed with some type of energy vampire, but I wasn't getting that it was full-blown. I'm so sorry, that's kind of blurring in and out, but I wasn't getting that it's like it's a different kind of energy vampire. In fact, like, I want to say that the way that they're draining your energy is more by like their depression. They're almost swarming you in waves, like maybe even it's multiple people, but there's like either an environment or relationships that you're involved with right now, and it's like they come in waves and take your energy, okay? Because I do feel like what's going on with them is that they're probably going through a hard time in their life. Like, it could be a fire sign that you're dealing with, an Aries, Leo, Sag. It doesn't have to be, but I'm throwing that out there just because that seems really prominent that we have two fire cards right there. So what I want to say, though, because that's not picking up as normal with like a rage. To me, it's like that they're coming in. Maybe sometimes it comes out expressed in that way in some type of anger, or maybe just like a fire, like they say something kind of harsh or just put something out there that seems kind of brutal or something like that. But underneath the surface is a lot of emotions going on, and that's what I'm going to dive into further. But what's going on, Capricorn, is I think you're looking in a way to be liberated from this situation. This is like you're almost in a cocoon is what I'm hearing. You haven't quite got to this butterfly phase where you're liberated, you're free, you're going through a transformation. We've got the alchemical symbol for air up here at the top, so it could be also an air sign you're dealing with, an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, but it doesn't have to be. But what I think is happening is you're almost not getting alone time that you need, Capricorn, because this energy just keeps bleeding into your environment. It's like it won't leave you alone, okay? And maybe it's showing up, maybe not just as one specific person. It could be multiple, however this applies, just because of that fire ant. It could be like just an energy in general that keeps coming back into your life that just keeps pulling at you, and the conflict is coming up because it's helping you in your transformation. It's going to help you get into so much conflict that eventually you're not going to be able to take it anymore, Cap, and then you're finally going to push yourself out of your cocoon, where maybe I have another tarot deck that shows the Hanged Man as a cocoon, and that's where you're strung up. That the Hanged Man, it's like you're getting a different perspective by staying maybe a little bit like constricted in a phase of your life where you're like, there isn't forward movement, there aren't things really happening a lot. And this is where there's like this opposite of energy I can see. There's a lot of action, right? Because fire is about action and drive. It's all coming to you, but you're kind of like in the mind, you're in this process of the cocoon phase where you're not completely like liberating yourself quite yet. You're learning something and you're gaining a new perspective, from this process. So what I'm hearing in a way too is like the key to this is you're surrendering, okay? Because that's what I kind of see is like how the butterfly is kind of bowing down, head hung down. It's a very humble type of energy. And so it's kind of like, this is the thing, and this is kind of reminding me of this. I think I've talked about this in a previous video, but recently I was like fostering a little kitten back to health, and she was so sweet. She was kind of having some health issues, and she got some stuff all over her for like some bodily function, like fluid all over her body. And I had to wash her off. I had to like put her in the sink and wash her underwater. And of course, she was fighting me on it. She was clawing me like crazy, and she was completely resisting everything I did. And so eventually, like, it wasn't getting anywhere. So I grabbed her by the nape of the neck, by her fur, and then I was holding her because that puts them into a state of surrender. The cats, like when their neck is grabbed like that, they go into surrender mode because it's their neck, they're most vulnerable. And that's what I'm seeing is kind of happening for you, Cap, is like you're almost having to get into that position of complete surrender through this process, because it keeps coming back to you and for a very specific reason. And I think it's because there's a little bit of resistance coming on your end, that where you're kind of like fighting it. And this could be multiple things. This doesn't even have to be actual people. This could even be in your mind, where you have waves of anxiety or depression that come back in, and it drains your energy. It completely drains you and leaves you kind of lifeless and helpless. And so the process of it, and I've been there myself, and this is why I can relate, because the way that you have to deal with it seriously is you have to just surrender to it. You have to stop resisting it, because you have to think the chemical, when you try to force or control a situation or something like that, you're releasing a very specific brain chemical. And that's why you can feel the resistance, because that's being created in your hypothalamus in your brain, that's feeding the cells of your body, and your cells are creating receptors to take on that incoming chemical. So for that, this is why we go through certain phases of our life, like certain transformation phases, is your receptors on your cells are going to completely bring up holographically those type of environments, situations, or relationships that are going to reflect what's already going on in the cells of your body. Okay, so if you already are used to, like, say you were passed down by your parents some type of anxiety or depression, and you've been also taught to like reject that within you, to shame it and to run from it, it will constantly come back. It's the shame cycle is the addiction to things. Okay, so if you have even addictions to like environments or situations that bring you depression or anxiety, it's not something you're doing on purpose at all. This is just a chemical programming within you. It's a vibrational pattern stored within the cells of your body. So it's holographically coming up in your experience, Cap. And that's why you're having this wave of either in your mind or in your physical reality relationships that are coming up to show and shine a light on this part of your shadow self. Okay, it's going to shine a light on your subconscious programming, on your habitual patterns in relationship, how you handle things. So it's for your benefit. It might feel very uncomfortable. These two energies do not feel fun. Okay, and the fire ants, they freaking bite. It hurts. Like, it's tiny, but it hurts. And this is why, because those low vibrational brain chemicals, they are painful. When you experience depression and those type of things, it's a painful period. It's painful. So this is what you're liberating from, is you're going through a transformation process, and you're a little bit in your cocoon phase. It's also what I like to always call a holding pattern. If you guys listen to Abraham Hicks, she always talks about this. It's like when you're in a holding pattern, it's kind of like, hang on, or what does she say? She's like, it's like jumping out of an airplane. You just have to it's like, hang on, it'll all be over soon, you know? And that's the surrendering process, where you just have to let the momentum play out, the chemicals, the momentum of those, the energy of those chemicals play out in your reality, until finally it puts you in a surrendering state of mind where you're just at peace. Because the more you just surrender to what's happening, this is why I love Buddhism and everything, is because it's all about taking more of an observation approach. It's learning how to try not to force things, right? Because we're so used to trying to control things and how to take action. You know, that's how we've been used to solving things in our environment, and it's completely what's the word? It's completely counterproductive. That's what I was looking for. Ooh, yeah, that felt good. You know when you guys find a word and it's like, yes, like, yeah, that's what I was experiencing. So it's counterproductive. Like when you try to force actions and when you try to make things happen, it's actually the exact opposite of what you need to do. You need to just let it happen and let the energies play out here, is what I'm hearing, Cap. Okay, so let me again see what comes out here to clarify it in the tarot. Okay, what can we get here for Capricorn? Ooh, hello. Okay. So, like, this was just confirming about what I was saying, the fire ant. This is multiple people that you're dealing with, Cap. So I feel like there's multiple people in your environment, at least, that are maybe a little bit of an energy, vampire-ish energy, or you've got some type of conflict going on with them, and it's coming in swarms. I think that was a lot of what was happening in this Mercury retrograde, because it's, again, reflecting what's going on in you vibrationally. And I'm even going to throw this out there. When you guys are full of, like, free radicals, that is an energy vampire molecule or a narcissistic molecule. And you guys will have to look up like specifics on free radicals. You might find it really fascinating, because that, if that's what's in the majority, like in your cellular structure in your body, if your body is full of them, then you're going to also attract other relationships and stuff that try to take your energy. It's a chemical thing. It's a quantum physics thing. That's the quantum tunneling that happens. That's the energy exchange between you and your environments, or between you and other people. So that's what they're reflecting, Cap, if that makes sense. So here we've got the Knight of Wands. We've got more fire energy. So here it is. I want to say that it's like someone keeps coming back in, as far, and it kind of catches you off guard, because this can be an impulsive energy, and it's someone very egoic. Okay, it's the Knight of Wands, and the way they're coming across in this energy, it's like they'll just pop into your reality out of nowhere. And I feel like it kind of leaves you a little discombobulated a little bit, Cap, where you're just like, oh, like trying to get your grounding and your footing, because it comes in out of nowhere. These people, or this swarms, or this energy, it just like pops in. It's very like impulsive, quick, and just out of nowhere. And you're wanting to leave. Like, I keep constantly throughout this deck, I keep seeing the Six of Swords. I haven't pulled it out, but I can see like how much you're wanting to leave this situation or these dynamics, whatever it is. It could be a work, like I said. Oh yeah, we've got the Judgment card. So that's just kind of clarifying. There's two things I'm getting from this card. Like I was saying, it keeps coming back. It's a resurrection. It's things that maybe you think are done, and it's coming back again. But it's also coming back in for another round of an awakening within you. It's coming back in for you to see a deeper level of your own psyche or your subconscious programming. That's what it's waking you up to, Cap. So it's actually very beneficial, because these two right here, this combination, is really incredible. It's a waking up. It's a revelation of some kind that's going to help you to transform and like I said previously, liberate yourself from some type of dissatisfaction, like whatever this situation is that you're going through. And then here we've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is what you're going to be moving into. This is two major arcanas that we've got here, where you obviously are wanting to kind of, okay, this is what I'm hearing. Ooh, you guys are going to be waking up to something really key in the next like week, maybe two. There's going to be some type of awakening that you go through, something that comes into your awareness, and everything is going to change and go in the direction that you're wanting. Okay, it's going to feel like boom out of nowhere. That's why I'm also kind of seeing the Knight of Wands, because it could just come in impulsively. This is where probably your guides, they're giving you that key piece of information that you need in your transformation process. Because I'm hearing, Cap, there's something like in your blinders, like in your blind spot, that you're not quite seeing about a pattern in your life. You're like, what the freaking heck? Like maybe there is just this, you guys keep coming across narcissistic people or energy vampire type of people. It keeps happening. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter what jumps in and moves that you make that are really big, like you're making some jumps here, at least for some of you, maybe not all of you, but maybe you've made taken some leaps of faith and made some jumps, because you're almost trying to force the awakening in a way too. You're trying to force the information to come into you. Does that make sense, Cap? Because you're wanting to turn things around. You're wanting things to go differently in your life, and that's where I think that you're kind of getting tied up and maybe a little bit frustrated, is that you're going to get everything that you want. You know that you're going to have this transformation in not only within yourself, but within your relationships. So that's where, again, the surrendering is coming in, because you're almost trying to force it to happen before the divine timing of it. Like there's a specific time to this. It's almost like where, you know how when people say certain things, yeah, this is just clarifying it. That's why I wanted to pull this. I think there's relationships that you keep coming across that are very selfish taking energy, and you're done with it, Cap. Like you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I think you're seeing it in a bleed through of so many areas of your life that you're just like trying to take control over it at this point. And what I'm hearing is, oh, what was I saying previously? What was I saying before? How, oh crap, I lost it. I knew that I should have finished that thought, because now I've lost it. Cap, what was I saying? Freaking crap. Yeah, you guys might go through like some type of frustration where you're like, this keeps happening. Okay, and like I was saying, you're seeing it in a bleed through in not only your personal relationship, but maybe even in your work environments. And it's because you are being pushed in a direction, Cap. But again, I think what happens is you're having kind of the normal human reaction where you're trying to take control of it yourself, and you're trying to make things happen because it's obviously uncomfortable. You're done with that. But that's why I was saying what's really beautiful is it's all about the physics of this. What you're realizing you don't want, it's all about the creation process, right? So you're realizing what you don't want so that you can get what you do want. Even though I'm not seeing the fives in here for conflict, I don't have to have that. I've already seen it with the Panther and the Fire Ant. There's enough conflict right there that I can see going on with you, and you're trying to push it in a different direction, Cap, because it sucks, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. So let me just pull out one more card, maybe even two. Let's see what's going on. So for you guys that resonate with this, let me see what happens. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take all of those really quickly before I move into the extended. So Cap, this is where you're feeling like just shut out in the cold when it comes to having good, positive, unequal dynamic in your relationships. You're like, oh my freaking crap. This is disappointment where you're like, it's not happening for you. You know, maybe you're looking around at other people and you're thinking everyone else is getting it, but you're not, okay? And then we've got the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. So I want to say that this is the connections. Look, we've got more fire energy, and this is where I think the conflict is coming in. Is you keep coming across people that are almost like my way or the highway, and they're the energy takers, right? They're selfish, and it's making you feel really disempowered, okay? But what's interesting is both of you are kind of having like an entanglement of certain aspects of your energy. Does that make sense? So that's why the entanglement is happening, because the uneven energy give and take is going back to a level of your development and your psychology and your psychological development, all about the family, okay? But it's all about instability in the family, and that's what you're going to be changing, Cap. And that's where the wheel right here is going to be turning into your favor, and where the transformation is going to happen, because you're going to be moving into relationships that are much more stable, much more fulfilling, much more grounded and committed, okay? That's your energy right there, the thing that you're working towards creating, okay, Cap? So with that being said, I'm going to leave that there. If you guys want to dive into the extended with me, I'm going to pull out what's on the other side of whatever you want to say, this transformation. So if you guys want to join me over there, just go ahead down below in the description box, click on the PayPal link, send over $10, and please remember in the comments or description to put Capricorn, the title of the video, your the publish date, and your email address where you'd like me to send the link over to. So Cap, if this is kind of where we leave things, I'm sending you so much love, wishing you all the very best, and I will see you in your next reading. Take care.